Alright guys, what's up? So if you don't know how to add presets onto your footage and you've never used presets before, I'm going to show you quickly how to do it so you don't have to spend hours and hours on YouTube trying to figure it out. If you don't really know how to use Premiere, just stay tuned to my blog. I'm going to be posting more of these tutorials as you guys request them to help you guys with your editing process, and I feel that since I've been doing it long enough, I can help you out a little bit more than some newer editors on YouTube. So first of all, hopefully you know how to do this, but like I said, if not, just go back to my blog and see if there's a post about how to do anything you don't know how to do, and if there's not, just comment below and let me know what you need. So, I have all my clips in my timeline, okay? They're all different clips. Alright, and I picked these clips just so I could show you guys the variety of presets that I have made for you. And if you clicked on this without knowing that I made presets for you guys, you can actually download presets that I've made and you can use them on your own videos. Let me make that a bit smaller. Andy's just too big in that. Alright, if you have the newest update for Adobe Creative Cloud, if you don't have it, you should get it. I have a blog on how to download it and why it's worth it. But if you go to your presets folder over here, your presets bin, and you make a new preset bin, it will make you a new bin in here. So if you just call it like K's presets, whatever. Okay, cool, that's cool. Then you're going to right click, and you're going to go import presets. And when you get these presets, they're going to download in a zip file. So they'll download in the zip file that says K's presets. You can get it over from my blog, which I'm assuming you already did that. But basically you're going to click on this and then you'll pay for it, and then you'll download it. It will go to your downloads folder, and it will be a folder called K's presets 1. It'll be a zip folder. You're going to unzip that. So you're going to go, actually you can just double click it, honestly. So just double click it and it will unzip itself. So there it is. All of your presets are in the folder that you downloaded. So they're all right there. And then, since I don't really need that, I'm just going to get rid of it. Okay, so that would be in your folder wherever you decide to put that on your desktop. And then you can go over here back into Premiere, and you'll find that Case Presets 1 folder, and you can click on, you have to do it one at a time, but when you click on one, so we're going to start with Banksy, so it's going to open it, and then Banksy is going to get put in your presets. Yeah, it's here. So, then you can drag Banksy over to your clip, like that. But I'm not going to use Banksy for this particular one, because I don't want to use it for that one, but I might use it for this guy. So I might use it for this clown footage, so you can drag it directly on top of your footage like this. If you don't want to use the preset on your clip in case you clip this and move it, and then you want this to actually have a different preset, and then you'd have to go in and manually do this, and then you'd have to add your new one on there or whatever. That just takes a lot of time. So there is another way to do it. Or the other reason you might want to do this is if, say you have 2 clips that you want to have the same preset, instead of just dragging the preset onto here and then dragging it again onto the other clip and having it on both clips. Instead of doing that, you get rid of these. So from the start, from scratch, so this is your raw footage, you can go over here, you can make an adjustment layer, and what adjustment layers are, it's basically just a blank layer, so it's an empty layer, and you can add things onto this layer that will be reflected on the bottom layers. Okay, so if I were to add Banksy to this adjustment layer, so it's going to add the effect, it's going to have the same effect as it would if I just put Banksy on the original layer. See? Okay, so now if I drag it over, it's going to be like super intense. So that's it with both of them on there. So we're going to get rid of the bottom layer effects. So now you just have the adjustment layer with the effects on. So instead of having to copy these effects and put them onto this video as well, you just put them on this adjustment layer, and then when you go to your next clip, it already has the effect on there. So that saves you a whole 5-10 seconds, and that may not seem like a long time, but trust me, when you're editing, 10 seconds is a long time. So if you want to speed up your process, just make an adjustment layer and add the effect that you want onto that adjustment layer. And then if you want to use that clip later, it won't already have that effect on it, which is good. So you can add another effect, or you can just copy and paste your adjustment layer. So say you wanted it to be on this one too, but you didn't want it to be on here. So you could either copy the preset and paste it on here, or you can just copy that adjustment layer and move the adjustment layer on top of this one. But like I said, I would not use it on this particular video. So let's just try a couple more. The other important thing is, like, my presets aren't going to work for every single shot that you have. Every shot's a different shot. It's filmed a different way. The colors are different in every single shot you do. So, like I said, like this preset, like I just showed you basically, this preset is going to work for this shot, but it's not going to work for this shot because this shot doesn't work with that. This shot is meant for darker footage, this Banksy footage. It's also supposed to pull the reds out because if you guys know the graffiti artist or street artist Banksy, he uses a lot of bright red in his graffiti pieces. So he uses his like black rats, but he uses those pops of red in like his paint or in the lettering that he uses. So that's why I named this one Banksy, because of that red. For this shot, I would kind of want to make these greens and yellows pop, and I would want to kind of make this white like brighter. So for that one, I'm going to use, which one did I use? I think I used everything was blue on this one. Yeah. So that makes it like super contrasty, this shot. So we'll show you before. So this is before, after, before, after. So it makes those colors pop a lot more. And I'm going to show you guys this. So say I want to use this everything is blue on this ocean footage, which I wouldn't, I would use a different one, but this is okay. You know, it's like super blue. Personally, I would use my ocean breeze because this is more of an ocean vibe. It's got that aqua and that teal and the green in there, which is why I made this one. It's supposed to work for more like water sports, outdoors kind of stuff. So again, this is going to be before, after, and like phantom footage, drone footage is always very bland, so it's good to color correct it because it really just, it makes a huge difference. But, so as I was about to say, this looks great on this ocean footage, but if I use it on Andy's footage from the APMA announcement video I filmed, it looks a little weird. So if you still like the blues and the greens popping out, and you don't want it to be this fucking intense, you can go over here in your effect controls panel, and this is your preset that you've put, okay? So this has everything set to how I made it when I made this preset for you. So you can go, this shows all of the little things, all the little tweaks that I made. So if, for example, I'm gonna have to do a whole tutorial on how to change every single one of these and what it means, but you can tweak these for whatever your footage is. So for example, this has like a lot of greens going in it. So I'm going to take this temperature, and what this minus is, it's basically negative. So if you go negative on a temperature scale, it gets colder. It's the same with like the weather. So if it's negative 14, it's going to be cold. If it's 100, it's going to be really hot. So say I change this to 100 just to show you guys. So it's going to have a lot of reds and yellows because on your color spectrum, if we come down here, so we've got, you have your primary colors, which are red, green, and blue, right? Red, green, blue. That's your primary colors. And whenever you adjust this temperature, so basically you're going either this way to make it colder or this way to make it warmer, right? So the farther to the right, the higher you go, the warmer it's going to be, and the lower you go. So if we did minus 100, that's going to be hella cold. He's gonna look like a vampire, which, you know, might work for him because he's pale. But okay, so we're going back. But if you wanted to tweak this a little bit, you could go to say maybe 0. 0 is your standard. 0 is right in the middle. But because I already have all these other effects like the shadows, the highlights, and the midtones, and then I've got all of this stuff going on, if you want to get rid of these things and just start from scratch and tinker with it yourself, all you have to do is click twice and it resets. So if you click twice, it'll reset. Click twice and click twice, that resets. And then the same for these under your curves, which is under your creative tab. So if you go to your curves and you don't really like what it's doing to the greens in here, you can double click and it takes it back to normal. You can go to your reds. So see how his hands are super like warm, they're almost a purple. That's because I pulled the mids with the reds. But if you want that back to center, you can do that. And the same goes with the blue. The blues are popping a lot, but if I want those back to normal, you take those back to normal and you can see there's before There's after. That doesn't do a whole lot of difference, but you guys get the point. And let me see, what else could I show you guys real quick while you're here. Go back into our creative. Come on. So another thing that's making these colors super poppy, I guess I should say, is your vibrance. And your vibrance is your creative tab. So if you don't want it to be that vibrant, you can take that back to 0. See what that did? So this is going to be before, and this is going to be after, before, after. So that kind of desaturates the footage. That's why I liked the vibrance on this. But again, all of this stuff is dependent on what you're looking for as far as your footage goes. So yeah, that's the gist of how to put an adjustment layer onto your footage or onto an adjustment layer. I use adjustment layers. I used to use it on my individual shots until I started realizing that it was a lot of hassle. Because, for example, I would have, like, say, this shot. So I'd have this shot, and then I would have another shot after this. So we've got our 2 shots back to back. But then I would go back over here, and say this one had my ocean my ocean breezes thing on this. And then I go over here, and I have to go add ocean breezes again. But if I changed anything on this clip, so if I went in here and changed anything on this clip, so, like, I did this kind of shot, like, I don't know, because I wanted it fucking purple that day or something. And then I went and added ocean breezes over here. It's not going to copy what I made here. So then I would have to go all the way back in this, copy that, go over here, paste that. You know what I mean? So it's just a long process. And the other thing, so if I have this footage, right, but then I put a clip between them, and then I put footage later in the shot. So this is footage that's later in this oops, oh shit, oh fuck, where are we? Oh damn. Okay, we're here, sorry. So we have this, and then we go here, and then we go back to this shot, but it's at a different part of the shot. That means I didn't just take this whole clip and, like, stretch it out, you know? Whoops, got rid of that. So I took this, I put something in between it because maybe I wanted to, say this was like a shot from this pier right here. So instead of the shot of Andy, it was like a shot from the front of the pier. So you had the surfer, then you had the front of the pier, and then you had more of the ocean, right? So I was then having to go in and copy this and do all this stuff. And before I made these presets, I was actually having to make this stuff all by hand. So I would go into, like, the original presets that Adobe gives you. So, like, these things, if you go under Lumetri, whatever, they're LUTs presets. That's what we call them. They have all these kind of things in here, and yeah, these are all great presets. They come with the software. But I was going in and I was literally, like, doing this piece by piece by piece by piece, trying to figure this out all day, every day, and it took me hours. I would spend hours trying to color grade my stuff. And then I was like, what am I doing? Fuck that. So I just started making my own presets. So I made this preset. Well, without all the shit that I changed. But yeah, I made my own presets. So, yeah. So if you want to use my presets, like I said, that's how you do it. And I wish you luck.